What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part 24 of my Total Warhammer 3 modded Belegar Ironhammer campaign. So as we saw last time, the axes of Khazad Dragon Slayer's army were let fly into the orcs that occupied Grand Peak, or I should say the goblins, as the Red Eye were relatively more goblin-focused than they were orc-focused, though there were orcs on the defensive. Anyway, we did win the battle. We did manage to also get away without losing a single unit, though it did came very close for one of the Rangers, and I'm glad that we finally saw the Rangers with great weapons and their axes in action. Though, yeah, we still need to get the Slayers in this army to actually properly build it out in the manner that we want it to be. Anyway, in addition to that, we are still pursuing Queek here to the Desolation of Nagash. We're going to hope that he spawns next turn, but if he doesn't, I think we're just going to destroy the faction and proceed rather than wasting who knows how many turns. I don't remember which turn we killed him in, and I feel like it's 8 turns until Wounded goes away. It's either 5 or 8. And if it is going to be more than 1 or 2 more, the cost is probably more than we would get out than the trade, or at least it would take so many turns for it to pay for itself that it's probably not worth it. Anyway, other than that, there really isn't all that much to do other than possibly check Diplo real quick and then proceed to the next turn, so let's start that. I think what we wanted to do was get the military access agreement with Thorek, although it might be actually more expensive next turn, or rather he might be willing to give us more next turn, so we can just end it right now. Let's end the turn, let's proceed to next. We are going to go to the Desolation of Nagash. We are going to probably have to defend against Tretch Craventail, who's going to attack at Black Iron Mine, which should be a pretty fun fight. And then there is Karak Draj, though there is an allied army nearby that might take care of these guys for us, especially as in fact there are 2 allied armies nearby. So thank Berekvar for that. Alrighty, let's see what we got here. Ally mobilizes towards settlement, the thieving vermin grudge removed, swell a little bit more oath gold, a little bit more money. And now I believe we have just the 1 grudge left. Tretch is in fact not going to attack Black Iron Mine. Huh. I'm a little bit surprised by that, and the Skarsnik is going to attack our garrison, but our allies are going to be drawn in. So you know what, we can just auto-resolve. They have absolutely no chance. Oh wow, really? This will kill one of the Dwarf Warriors with great weapons. It'll recover. It'll recover over time, and ooh, 2,000 money for this, we'll take it. Not a lot of oath gold, surprisingly, but we'll take it. And what is this? Sylvania's attacking Oakenhammer. Yeah, okay, well, to be fair, we did expect this over the last couple of episodes that it would happen eventually. We're just going to retake it with our forces while they heal up. They can't move on Mount Gunbat immediately anyway, so, and this will be fine. Let's just fight this real quick. Maybe we can at least knock a few of the doggos out of this army. Although them being hurt isn't necessarily a bad thing. Yeah, let's just, I'm just going to max speed through this, just to see if we can accomplish at least a little bit of damage. Honestly, if we had a few units here, we might have been able to win this, but, I mean, who knew? I mean, I guess we knew, but who knew when exactly this would happen, and how many turns we'd have to spend there with a bunch of extra units that we didn't need that would have cost us so much more money. Would they have cost more than it will take to repair this? I'm not sure. We'll see. What's the best way to... You know what, let's just deploy up here. Honestly, it probably doesn't really matter. Oh, wait, but if we do deploy up here, even though we have the elevation advantage, the doggos are going to be hard to attack. I was hoping to use the cliffside there, but it's okay. Alright, do that. You guys on the sides, like so. Just protect against the doggos. Hey. That Thane in the center, and start battle. Max speed, please. Alright, you wait. Who do you want to attack? There are skeleton warriors. I swear I saw they had a unit of Graveguard. There it is. Target the Graveguard. It's not really damaged, but yeah, probably the best use of our time. Bats and dogs, and oh, look, the enemy White King is here. Honestly, most likely it'll just revive itself anyway. All of you, fire on the bats before they land, maybe. And you guys go after the White King. In fact, yeah, Vlad's gonna get here in a few seconds. And there we go, bats are landing. See if you can't kill them off, and then switch to the next unit. And in fact, wait, target this unit of direwolves. And speed it up to max. Come on, get a few volleys in there. Yeah, we're gonna take damage, but let them crumble away. Alright, that unit is done for. The direwolves are nearly dead as well. Target the next unit of direwolves. Maybe you can kill it. In fact, fire right into that blob right there if you can, before everybody routs. Come on, maybe one more unit. Yeah, I was hoping to down that White King, but it doesn't look like it's gonna happen. Come on, one more shot. Yeah, I was hoping the catapults might knock a few of the bats out, but it's okay. Well, let's see if we manage to kill any of them before the, or rather than allowing them to rise again from the grave. This is just something that we're going to have to repeatedly deal with, as the dead will keep coming back. It's what they do. Fortunately, though, Zufbar can't fall, and I believe if this turn ends without the other territory, Karak Dromar, getting attacked, the wall building will be up there, which means we will have wasted no more time or money on that place. Alright, are you going to raise it or are you going to sack it? You are going to take it over. Oh, well, that's fine. You can feel free to sit right there while we move back in. In fact, I do wonder if we can reach it immediately. It's either 1 or 2 turns. I guess we're about to find out. Alrighty, and I'm assuming that we've got a grudge for that. Let's see, Border Princess moves. Yes. Pestilence Scheme performed Clan Wars. Great for them. Confederation between the Golden Order and Aberland. Oh, that's interesting. Huh. That means one of our allies is gone. Allied outpost lost Aberheim. Yeah. And ally loses outpost while they're gone. Templehop is gone as well. Grimoire's Arbors failed in their was. Settlement lost Oakenhammer. Trait gained Constructor for Cazador. Grudge removed. The Perfidious Sneak Grudge. And oh, we got another Master Rune of Spite for that. Well, isn't that just lovely? Win 5 battles against the Crooked Moon. Ah, yeah, so they're attacking our Karak Draj garrison. Completed this quest and gave us another one of these runes that we use everywhere. I'm going to give this a quick read, because this is one of the 2, I believe, grudges, well, 3 if we count Karak Eight Peaks, that we started since the beginning of the game. The so-called King Under the Mountain is yet to pay for the litany of transgressions he has committed against the Dowie. Every brave warrior lost at the Battle of the Jaws must be avenged with the blood of the Crooked Moon tribe. Alrighty, and a capture and occupy the following settlement. Oakenhammer will do. There's a Master Rune of Spite. Now, question is, Cazador, can you reach Oakenhammer from here? No, you can reach Zufbar, but not Oakenhammer. Okay, fine. You, then, are going to exit Zufbar. Right here. You can reach Oakenhammer, so you'll go here, and then we'll send Cazador in march stance, mind you, but all the way down to Zufbar. If Vlad moves away, he will lose Oakenhammer. If he doesn't move away, he will, we'll attack him and kill this stuff. Granted, he'll heal up a little bit, and oh, he's got a Bargolf in there as well. Oh, maybe it wasn't such a great idea to delete some of those units, because he actually got better units to replace them. And good job to him, though. Alright, and I wanted to check, what's the public order like here? Ooh, it's at -76, which means we're currently getting a -1 control in all provinces due to this. Alright, well, it'll fix itself next turn, but you know what? I know that we spent money on the Herders Guild Hall or the Pastures building here, but I think we have to sacrifice the growth for a little public order. I mean, obviously we could also get rid of the Toolmaker's Workshop, but do we really want to lose a 300 gold per turn for it? Granted, the faster we grow, the faster we get it back. And the control would fix itself. -30, eh? You know what? We're gonna get rid of this. And yes, we'll probably rebuild it here. We'll probably have to. Especially with the fact that we have the reduction for Black Powder and Firebase and Gyrocaptor units here, which means we can make use of this and the fact that it provides us extra armor at tier 4. How much does this cost to build, incidentally? How much money do these cost? And quite a bit. How much do the pastures cost? Oh, you can't tell, can you? Well, you can tell that this one is 3,000. They're about the same, actually. We're not getting rid of the Engineer's Workshop. And we don't have it in a lot of places. Yeah, let's get rid of the tool makers. It's causing us public order problems right now, and we can at least replace it with mines that give us more cash. Alrighty, that's decided. Let's see what's going on down here. First of all, yeah, there's no queek. And there ain't no queek. I guess we're gonna take Desolation then. And then move to Nagashazar. I guess another thing we could do if we really wanted to is jump to Nagashazar right now without taking the Desolation. Take Nagashazar and then jump back, maybe allowing Queek to return. It's a possibility. You know what? Let's give it a try. I'm willing to do one turn like that because we'd have to move back here anyway. So, Belegar, you're going right there. Hopefully he doesn't, these guys don't generate a new stack and just immediately go for Spite Peak or some pit. But these places should be able to defend themselves against a weak Skaven stack, especially as they can't really build all that much. Though we do have to watch out for their piles of warp grinders, as that's probably what they are going to build right away. What do you have in terms of army kit? This one out here is weak, but I'm willing to bet that the one in the Nagashazar is very much not. It might even have been allocated there at the very start of the game. I'm hoping for a nice battle. Oh, I am a little bit wary of you, though. There's a Pestilent Scheme Skaven who is going to probably try to apply another plague. Alright, so we really gotta take this out, go here, and destroy the Desolation before they do that. Hopefully I don't come to regret that, because the Skaven plagues are really irritating. Now. Stretch Craventail. Can we catch ya? Well, it looks like we can reach ya, if nothing else. There's a good chance he'll run, but maybe not. We'll see. And we do have quite a lot of miners. We can send Kaz around to actually attack him directly. Might as well use Fimber's army. They have the plague, but they can still do something. We could take a look at runes and stuff, but you know what? I think we just want to attack. Come on, come on, don't run. He did not run. And beautiful. That's a lot of Storm Vermin. But once again, they should be pretty vulnerable to miners with blasting charges, or at least decently so. In terms of what we gotta do here, Rune of Stoicism on the Lord, the melee attack bonus for these guys so it can actually run into melee if they need to. Perfect Vigor on the... well, Spell Resistance and Perfect Vigor on you, and I guess Rune of Sanctuary on you, so you're just a little bit less fragile. Alright. Is anybody fast enough to catch these in their army? We got 85 movement speed. These guys have 40, 40, 48, stretches at 42. Yeah, no, there's nothing that can catch them. So as long as they're not getting killed by slingers, they should be able to rip apart any of the enemy infantry units at their leisure. Lovely. Alright, here we go. Should be a pretty fun battle. Pyrrhic victory according to this. We're plaguified, and frankly, our main army isn't all that good. But we do have runes, and we do have many an explosion on our side. Alrighty, here we go, and ooh, this is the Outriders in our colors. You know what? They look pretty great. I actually really like this color scheme on these units. Damn, I'm gonna try out a few more Empire units. I didn't think that Belegar's color scheme would work quite so well for him, but honestly, it works better than half of the Empire color schemes. Yeah. Man, I'm so wrong. I really thought that blue and red would just clash on a lot of forces, but in the same way that it doesn't really clash on Belegar, it really doesn't clash on these guys either. Alright, this has been your Ruinous Warhammer fashion review. Anyway, let's let's speed this up a little bit. Should be a pretty interesting battle. The enemy has a more elite force than we do, and the Storm Vermin, while certainly in danger from the blasting charges, are heavily armored enough that the blasting charges won't simply destroy them. Plus, of course, Tretch gives the entire army devastating flanker as well, so we'll certainly have to watch out on our flanks. On the other hand, and we do have our 2 units of cavalry, and the Outriders are pretty devastating if they can get away from being attacked by the enemy by the enemy slingers and plague claw catapults, and we do out-artillery the enemy with 3 grudge throwers rather than 0. So, I don't know. I'm gonna rate this at about even so far. We'll see exactly how it goes. There is, of course, also Tretch to consider. He may not be as monstrous as Queek and is much more defensive in terms of his stats by the looks of it, but nonetheless, he's a pretty good hero. He's got his... he's got a potion of healing as well, but we do have plenty of Lords of Art and heroes of our own that, frankly, we should be able to surround and kill them with. A Dwarf Lord, a Thane, a Runesmith, and a Rune Lord all together, and all looking very different with their color schemes as well. And I could have compared their various cloaks and their stuff as well. But anyway, the battle is about to be joined as we move our artillery pieces forward and begin firing on the enemy battle line. We do very, very slightly outrange the enemy artillery piece in the sense that we can hit their battle line, but they can't hit ours. I didn't actually try to hit the enemy artillery directly. They're at 400 range and we're, what, 450? Yeah, 450. So I probably could have actually told our range units to go directly for the Plague Claw instead, and I a little bit regret not doing so. But as we've seen in previous battles, the Grudge Throwers are not very good at killing Plague Claws for whatever reason. They're meant to do splash damage and hit blobs of units. If we had a cannon or if we had even a Bolt Thrower, then we'd probably just target these directly, but otherwise, we're going to start on the main enemy line. So the Storm Vermin are going to be the big targets here, and if they're going to mill around together with some Plague Monks, that works in our favor as well, because they'll block each other, and then both units will get hit. And obviously, we'll do this as long as possible until the anthill has been kicked or the rat's nest has been opened or what have you, and the enemy starts moving towards us. Should be able to at least damage a few of the enemy units before they do. It looks like we got a few... Oh, wow, the Storm Vermin have actually lost, what, maybe 10% of their HP, 15%? But they have not, in fact, lost a single model to that. Yeah. Heavy armor, very high effective HP on them, of course. And what's their total HP? Nearly 20k, not bad. Our miners, comparatively, are half that. Alright, we'll see how the two fare in combat against each other once the blasting charges have been let fly. Gonna get a few more hits back there, and did you manage to... Nope. I was wondering if they actually managed to bring down a couple of these Storm Vermin, but alas, no. Alrighty, and now the enemy has finally been annoyed and will start moving towards us, and that includes their artillery piece, but we're going to continue targeting their main line. The purpose of this, even though that means we will take damage from the artillery, is to essentially prevent a few of the extra units of Storm Vermin from reaching the battle lines, as they will stay back and do the dance and avoid moving forward unless they get hit and destroyed by our artillery there. Huh, what's that up in the sky? The heck is that? Am I the only one seeing this? It's a UFO, damn it. Huh. It does look like there's something over there, under the cloud. I can't zoom in further, damn it. Oh... Well, it's way too big to be a gyrocopter or something. But anyway, I digress. Here come the enemy forces. The artillery is firing, and oh, look at that. The gutter runner slingers have moved in as well, and they're already starting to do damage to our miners. Though, of course, our miners will move forward and counter fire with their blasting charges as soon as they're able. They may be very, very slow, so it's going to take some time for them to get there. And yeah, slingers are most definitely a danger to miners still, so... Definitely got to be careful about allowing these guys free reign to do what they please. And there we slow she Google. And there we go, the blasting charges are in, hitting both the slingers as well as the Storm Vermin that were moving through them. And that's a lovely set of explosives. I'm sure our Lord is enjoying it greatly. The Skaven slaves, unfortunately for us, are absorbing a decent amount of the hits here, though. And let's see. The gutter runners, yeah, they're going to need a few more volleys for this to do real damage. And then the same thing is happening here, but obviously the Plague Monks are in much greater danger from the blasting charges than the Storm Vermin are, and obviously same thing for the Skaven slave, or not Skaven slaves, for the slingers and clan rats and whatever, everything but storm vermin, really. Anyway, our units of outriders are trying to get around the enemy. They've actually managed to peel off a unit of storm vermin and slingers as well, and they're actually going to be the ones to take care of the artillery pieces while we fire at the enemy main line. I am a little bit worried about the storm vermin getting too much battle time and just killing all of our miners in melee. Storm vermin may not be the best infantry around, but they're certainly good enough to kill some units of miners, which are the most basic infantry that we have. And there they go, they're certainly working on it. Our units are also poisoned, so they're doing even less damage. Of course, the miners are fairly heavily armored as well, so at the very least against the enemy sword and shield storm vermin, they should last a little bit longer. And really, it's going to be, to some degree at least, a matter of outlasting the enemy. And we are going to try to do as much damage as possible to the enemy lord, and in fact Tretch is now surrounded and getting hit by all 4 of ours. And then we can get around the enemy army and, more importantly, dish out damage with the outriders, as well as a little bit more with the miners. We also do have correlers firing as well to help out. And at least the enemy artillery piece has now been silenced. That said, a few of our miners are already in extremely bad shape. This one is looking like it's about to rout soon, and more enemy units are coming back and charging in. And yeah, the storm vermin are really not losing a lot of models to those blasting charges, only taking HP damage so far. It looks like this flank may collapse within a few, probably not a few minutes, but reasonably soon. Certainly under attack from the storm vermin after a while. Fortunately, one of our miners is rallying, and even more fortunately, Tretch is in very bad shape now and is just about dead, in fact. A few more hits should bring him down, if we can manage it. Right, come on. There we go. Looks like Tretch is gone for good. More enemy units are going past our routing miners. We're going to throw the blasting charges as we can, although of course they will do some damage to our own units. The enemy is going to cast a Warp Lightning right in the middle of those miners that were surrounding Tretch and continue to surround the chieftain that is still fighting, though our lord should be able to knock him out as well. We do have lord superiority here. Our lord and hero superiority, though the enemy did bring plenty of their own as well and has been launching warp rockets at us via this warlock engineer here. It's nice that these guys have a decent ranged attack now as well. Anyway, it looks like we are going to move in with the miners and start hitting the storm vermin that are still fighting, although it looks like the main line of ours is just about ready to collapse. A Rune of Oath and Steel will allow these 2 minor units to hold on just a little bit longer, but they will be routing shortly. On the bright side, though, it looks like the chieftain is out just as much as Tretch was. Single blasting charge sails overhead and unfortunately misses. Alright, come on guys, I'll land at least a few. There we go. Alright, that looks like it actually exploded a few of those storm vermin. And damn those slingers, we were just unable to do anything about them. It was too critical to switch to the storm vermin earlier, as they're a more important target. I suppose we could have targeted these guys with the grudge throwers as well, but because of their loose formation, it would have been a little bit of a waste. Rune of Wrath and Ruin coming down as the enemy runs through, and there's basically 1 or 2 units of storm vermin that we still need to take care of. As soon as they rout, and hopefully the second chieftain as well, we should have the battle well in hand. There is another storm vermin that was peeled away by the outriders that is heading in, and it is about to take more blasting charges. There we go. And of course they will charge in, but they're pretty badly beat up now, and these ones at least are taking quarreler shots to the side. Our outriders are also working in the distance, but they only got a few shots off with their grenade launchers, and in fact started to attack enemy in melee by and large, mostly because they were being focused down by the Night Runners, and it was just a little bit easier to run in and attack the Storm Vermin directly. Their stats ain't all that high at 36, granted, but they should still be able to knock a few of the enemies out. In this manner, I mean. And I do believe the battle is just about ours. In fact, the battle is completely ours. Suddenly, they've all shattered. I mean, we saw basically the last of the Storm Vermin fighting here, and that chieftain probably caused the rout when he himself routed as well. Now the lords are gonna chase him down. We gotta... Every day I regret the fact that you can't use yakety sax because of the copyright protections. I really need to find a free sound alike. Because that was perfect, I'm just chasing him like that. Alright, come on, bonk him, there we go. But that little chase scene was worth the entire battle. Alrighty, and now it's just a matter of trying to chase down as many of the enemy units as we can. We get a few more volleys with the grenades, although not super effective when on the chase. I gotta say, probably a good thing that we sent these guys after their own initial volleys and after killing the enemy artillery pieces to actually chase the enemy down in melee, rather than just doing this. They don't have high enough accuracy in order to chase off units with formations that have been screwed up like this. I mean, a few still do pop, though. You can still see that. I actually do wonder, you know what I should have done? I should have compared. I should have sent one in to only chase enemies down in melee, and then sent the other one in to only chase the enemies down via ranged fire, and ideally the same type of unit, i.e. so like both Storm Vermin, for example, just to see who killed more units rather. Maybe I'll do that next time around, just to see as to what is more effective. Anyway, battle's over, I'm gonna speed it up, and didn't get as much playtime with the Outriders as I would like, but they've only started here, we'll be getting plenty more use out of them in the future, and hopefully, once this army is properly built out, they'll be able to fire into the backs of the enemy while they stand there trying to deal with iron breakers and we'll probably keep some miners, and of course the troll hammer torpedoes and the regular iron drakes as well that we want in this army. Anyway, close victory for us. Of course we did take damage and we are still plagueinated, but I think not so much damage so that the plague actually kills anyone, which I consider a win. There we go, about 1/3 losses for our side. Not too bad, all things considered, and of course the disparity in eliteness of units was pretty darn big. As I recall, Storm Vermin, well, I guess it's pretty rebalanced in SFO, but at the very least in vanilla, they cost like 300 or 400 gold per turn, something very expensive. So yeah, it's quite an expensive army that the enemy lost here. And obviously they need a tier 3 building to actually build the Storm Vermin. And of course Tretch and everybody else down there. Let's see how our grenade launchers rather did. 16k and 15k, not too bad at all, beaten most of the miners with the exception of this one. Although these guys did spend a lot of time running around trying to avoid getting killed by those gutter runner slingers with poison, so yeah. And the grudge throwers pretty much always do well, so we could have expected that. 3k for execute and loot and 139 oath gold. We can certainly take it. Alrighty, and are you backed up far enough away so that we can no longer kill you? There's that defeated Tretch, and speed plus 10% for Lord's army, eh? Huh. You know, kind of like Queek, that's actually a decent trait to have on Belegar's Ranger army. I take it you don't have that yet. I don't remember if he's personally ever fought Tretched. I don't think he has, though. No. Unfortunately not. In fact, out of killing enemy lords, there really isn't much for Belegar as yet, so yeah, we have time, and I doubt we'll be killing off Tretch all that soon, though. How many territories does he have? He only has 3. Doesn't actually have all that many at the end of the day. Now let's also accept defeat Boilrin and accept defeat Boilrin, and hopefully we can finish Boilrin off. You are not able to go into March stance, damn. That's a shame. And I don't think you can kill off this yourself. I mean, we could certainly annoy them and run around with the grenade launchers if we really, really wanted to. Really, it's the Night Runners and Gutter Runners that would still be the threat. If only we had like a single unit of Grudge Throwers in here, that would be a lot less dangerous.
Not enough warpstone.
But if we can force these guys to rout, then it's not going to be as dangerous. But then again, they're probably going to be attacking us. What's the likelihood that they can kill Kazran and Brock here? Fairly low nonetheless. Alright, you know what, screw it. We're gonna kill off this army right now. You're not gonna change to any stances, I believe. Let's do this real quick. Oh, we don't even have to fight it. Okay, fine. Yeah, I mean, we do have the Rune of True in Flight and the Scepter of Stone and this and on this Lord as well. So yeah, they would have gotten pretty wrecked at the end of the day. It would have just been a waste of time and just dodging quite a lot with the Outriders, waiting until these guys have popped, and then the enemy would have been done for. Alrighty, we'll execute and loot those, especially as we did just defeat them. Ally mission successful, ally mission successful, that's what we like to see. And then... So, if we transfer these guys right now... Oh wait, also, we need to go back to venerate the ancestors before the... before the plague spreads to you, you need to at least briefly go here. I feel like we don't transfer so that we don't acquire the plague. Honestly, you should probably go back to plague territory rather than to a non-plagueinated territory, and just so that you don't spread it further. Yeah, like so. And Karak Eight Peaks. Now all of our... You're in 8 Peaks right now, yes? Wanna double check? Yes. And that is great because we have all this construction cost reduction. Namely, we need this. Recovered underhauls, a ranger defense, a recruitment cost, all armies faction-wide, control in adjacent provinces, gonna be useful. Ancestor weapons, well, we already have that. Armor-piercing weapon damage when defending all armies faction-wide. Very, very nice. And, possibly more importantly than that, access to Iron Drakes with Troll Hammers, Iron Drakes with Flamethrowers, Grudge Rakers, and it looks like Longbeards as well. And for a cheap 180, almost free. You can have the Toolmaker's Workshop as well, because we'll need the extra armor when we recruit stuff here, and, hello. And the Grand Underway Junction is available as well, with growth +5 all provinces. Upkeep for Iron Breakers, we don't get this, well, we don't get a benefit from this yet, but we will eventually. Well, let's build that as well. And what else can we put in here? It looks like we won't be needing Public Order. Income from all buildings, adjacent provinces. Does anybody know, does adjacent provinces count the current province? This province will probably be making a very decent amount of cash because of the increase due to the Grand Underway Junction, I think. We should also probably build a Scrat Mine while we're here. And just to increase that money further. And Stonebread Beg Curie, we do want Karak Eight Peaks at tier 5 as fast as possible. Alright. Willing to spend on 8 Peaks. And we probably don't need to fortify it much more than it currently is, as in it's already pretty heavily fortified. The last building that we'll need to build here is probably going to have to be another economic building. So either Guild Marketplace, which is growth all +4 all provinces, versus the Builders Guild. It's mostly the income from all buildings that we'd like here. The construction cost for all buildings is swell, but considering how much it costs to actually build the Builders Guild, it probably won't actually pay for itself unless we build... Now, even these things aren't all that expensive. Maybe if we go all the way through the Engineer's Workshop, or something along those lines, maybe it'll make itself worth it. Control is fine. We could just do the Feast Hall. You know what, let's build a construction site for now. Construction cost minus 5%. At least we will be building up a few more buildings at the very least. We can always change it up afterwards. What's the final level? Wait, let me just double check this. This gives us plus 20% as opposed to the income from all buildings, all adjacent provinces, plus 10% from this. It also doesn't generate Oath Gold. Honestly, it just feels like Trading Depot might actually just be straight up better. Even with the construction cost reduction. But only at level 2, mind you. Is there any province nearby that's already generating a decent amount of cash? This counts as nearby, but it's only generating 900, but mostly because it doesn't have its Scrat Mines and stuff up and running yet. Karak Eight Peaks is kind of in the same way. It will eventually be making good cash. You know what? We're gonna switch to Trading Depot instead. We'll probably build the other thing here anyway, just afterwards. Alrighty, looks good to me. Next up, what do we have? Who still has to move? Constructor Furrowbrow, Alaric still standing still, and there was a question in the comments as to when we're going to use him. Eventually, we just can't afford to do so right now. The purpose of him standing here is to counter Scarbrand if the Exiles of Khorne suddenly declare war on us. It's only a matter of time, after all, until they do, because they hate us. So when they come to Dragonhorn Mines, we will use these guys to defend. Another deep mine, perhaps? Probably one... Well, Stone Mine Tower is reasonably far away. I was just thinking that we get a... we get walls there. We could also start building these trade depots just straight up everywhere. Income from all buildings, all adjacent provinces. Not that there's a lot of adjacent provinces here. There will be, but not yet. So maybe we'll hold off on that one. Alrighty. And we do have a little bit of cash remaining as yet. Burundan. You... you just can't reach Kavzar. That's a shame, even in March stance. Alright, well that means we're gonna need to use the underway to jump over there. I'd rather not suffer attrition, and I also want to double check. So you are healing at 9 per turn and 3 until replenished. And if we get out here... Wait, what? How do you have not full... Huh, did we move you this turn? I could have sworn we didn't move you this turn. Weird.
Moving.
Like this, you're replenishing 7 per turn rather than 9, and 4 turns. Okay, so you actually do replenish more in Kavzar. Good. Good. And we'll need both of them to head out to Montenas, and hopefully we can destroy the Warherd of the Shadowgave. Alright, so you guys are doing what you're supposed to be doing. Fimber is good. Constructor Morgrimmel is good. Alaric Get Gold, good. You guys can no longer move... Oh, right, we did move those guys this turn, didn't we? Yeah. Alrighty. Halkin Half... I keep forgetting who Halkin Half is. Oh, right, just standing in Karak Azgal for the inevitable attack of the Khornate forces. We should also, while we're here, probably switch you to Venerate the Ancestors for the extra casualty or punishment rate so that the garrisons heal up. How are the garrisons here? They're actually fine. We're also still in Purge the Urks here, and I think we're going to switch to Masters of Steel and Stone for buildings. You no longer need Masters of Steel and Stone, at least not right now, so you are gonna go into... well, it's not like you need anything but growth, so I guess empower the guilds. Karak Azgal, you're switching to Venerate the Ancestors because of the plagues that are currently, well, plaguing you. And that's about it, at least for these territories. You're in Venerate the Ancestors, we might as well check all the commandments right now, while they're problematic. And that looks good. Alrighty. Any diplomacy. Ostermark's nearly ready for a non-aggression pact for a 70 gold. Now why not?
So be it.
Hopefully none of the other Imperial territories don't like us for doing that. And Talbekland is good. Armbrow's Expedition. Yes, will you be giving us about the same amount of money? Unless that was this turn and I simply forgot. And I believe we're... Whoa! No, we're not good. We are not good at all. I mean, we are good in some ways, but we are not good in others. Karazakarak is ready for a confederation. Oh, man. Our public order is in such dire straits right now. But we probably still gotta do it. You know what? We're gonna do this. Don't... We're gonna need the money here, but the control is gonna drop in massively. Let us get rid of the Dwarf Tinkerer's shops. We're going to replace them with deep mines because I just can't handle the public order right now. And you're fine with the refectory, and this is only -1 control, so it's not so bad. You're switching to Masters of Steel and Stone, but that's fine. We're going to need to switch it off next turn as well. And every place is about to get very much negative in terms of control. You no longer need to be here unless I'm mistaken. Which is going to be a problem, because the public order is going to go negative again. I guess you do need to head out to Karak Angazar.
I'll get on it.
And get that little bit of extra public order. Hopefully once that deletes, we can build that up. Alright, how's the defenses looking here? Karak Buftar, you're getting your first wall building up and running, but we'll need the second, hopefully, before the Wood Elves attack us. Really like you...
For a moment, dwarf.
Almost. If Paravon remains not dead, we might be able to get a non-aggression pack going with the, with Tulls in here.
Dwarfs.
Are we able to declare war on you right now? I don't remember when we pieced out. No, 3 more turns. Okay. Unfortunate, but we'll probably have to do it anyway. And I believe that's all. That's it, that's all, yes? We're gonna save the money because we're gonna be building up a lot of stuff next turn. And we'll probably be attacking Vlad next turn, assuming, of course, that he does not, in fact, attack us. Let's find out. Skip, unassigned skill points, skip, building upgrade available, outpost available, hero not moved. Which hero's not moved? Retinue? No, you. You're not supposed to move. Actually, you can head down to this place. We can reduce the cost of this mine, and in fact, I guess Kazran is kind of in the same situation, but he has to transfer stuff to Plague Man here. Explosion Plague Man. Alrighty, but that'll happen later as well. Also, what's the other thing we have to do? Alright, raid the Vampire Coast, man. It's gonna take forever to actually get to that. It's just so far away. Alright, please Queek, please respawn. Nope, and Akka or Ska Bloodtail just killed Retinue. Damn it. We should have just killed these guys, but oh well. Maybe Queek will come back next turn, but if he doesn't, his faction dies. Their lucky clan Carrion is here.
Have you come to pledge me your loyalty?
What do you want? Oh, damn it, I just realized I should have done the... Well, I guess we could do the Confederation next turn. I guess we'll be a little bit more prepared, unless I screwed up. Oh, he's only wounded. Unless I screwed up and they're no longer willing to confed. No, they're still willing. Okay, that's fine. Ooh. Oh, that made me nervous there. And oh my. Well, that's a question. Do we confederate Kazakit-HA or do we confederate Barakavar? Damn. Alright, that's a difficult choice. In fact, it is a difficult enough choice that I am going to pose it to you guys to see what you think. Barakavar is much richer right now and is right in the middle of all of our territories and would give us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 territories. And on top of that, it would finish off a Death Pass as well, wink, which will give us the complete Death Pass province. And it has a port here. Barakavar is probably pretty wealthy. On the other hand, Thorgrim, who is a legendary lord, and he has his, he has Kazakit-HA. I do wonder how well he's built it. He may lose the Pillars of Grugni as well. Yeah, that's an interesting choice. We'd probably get much more money out of Barakavar than we would out of Kazakit-HA, and we can always confederate Kazakit-HA later, though they might be sufficiently weakened or sufficiently strengthened by us killing Skarsnik that they probably don't want to anymore. I'm not sure. You guys let me know what you think. We'll make the decision at the start of next episode and confederate at least one of them. Well, no, at least just one of them. We will also probably attack with Cazador and Alaric to retake Oakenhammer, which is... Actually, we're just going to auto-resolve that in a few seconds. And you can reach it. Great. So we'll be able to attack that, retake Oakenhammer, complete that grudge, probably fight Vlad a little bit, and more importantly, have a big old battle against whatever's here in Clan Carrion. Hopefully draw them out into the field as well, because that might make it a little bit more interesting than a settlement battle. So stay tuned for that. Probably we'll be facing off 3 full stacks with Belegar's army alone, and elite ones at that. And then maybe we can find a nice battle with the Warherd of the Shadowgave as well. Hopefully, before these guys come calling yet again. More Dwarfs to come. Don't forget to leave a like and comment. All glory to the algorithm. Let me know your thoughts about the Confederation options. And thanks for watching.